Ross Whipple was born on June 27, 1951, in Arkadelphia. When he was 3, his family moved to Malvern, where he grew up. Growing up during a time in small-town America where many people had just enough to get by, Ross developed an interest in business. He started mowing yards when he was 11 years old and continued to grow his lawn mowing business until it was time to attend college. Once, while mowing, he was approached by his distant cousin, Jane Ross, who proposed an opportunity.
She says, "You got a few minutes?" And I said, "Jane, I got about 5 minutes. I got 2 more yards to mow. It's 5 o'clock and I need to get going." Now, I didn't know at the time, but that probably impressed her. Her family was in the timber business and they had other interests, banking interests, etc. But the main line was land and timber. She was kind of looking for someone to help her. But basically it was, if you'll think about coming to Henderson State University and working with me and see where that goes.
In the fall of 1969, Ross attended Henderson State University for his undergrad degree. He later attended grad school at the University of Arkansas to obtain his MBA in Fayetteville.
I just kind of figured, well, if Jane will have me, I think this will work out pretty well. I was fascinated by the industry. I cruised timber, I painted lines, I drove a skidder, I used a chainsaw. But she wanted to make sure that I got a taste of it all. I'd just gotten married to my wife now of 47 years. I'd been working a year. She came to me and says, "I want to give you 500 acres." It really gave me a start in the timber business as an owner.
In 1979, Jane Ross acquired controlling interest in Merchants and Planters Bank in Arkadelphia, leading her to ask Ross for assistance turning it around.
Through a couple of strategic moves, we acquired control of the holding company. The bank wasn't doing that well. I came in the end of February. The bank had lost $30,000 to date that year. And the bank's performance picks up drastically, dramatically. Everything's doing well. And then one day, she comes in to me and says, "I want to give you my bank stock." I'd been on the board of this bank. I knew how a bank operated. The former president departed and the board came to me and said, "Well, you do it." Trying to find a way to increase the value of her investment. And I said, "I'll do it for 90 days. So the board said, "Well, what do we pay you?" I said, "I will work for half of what you were paying the former president, but I want all the earnings over a 1% return on assets." And they said, "Really?" I mean, the bank had never even come close to making a 1% return on assets. And it was a hard year. And I kind of thought they just pitched the keys to me to take it down. But we turned it around, made people proud to be there, made our customers proud. We consolidated 4 charters into 1.
In 1998, Horizon Bank Corp. sold for 3.25 times book value and 24 times earnings. By the end of the year, the bank was making over 1.75% return on assets, making assets $580 million, leading them to be the largest bank in Arkadelphia. The bank's success can be attributed to Ross's value of people. He says that growing the bank from 0 to $1.2 billion in 14 years was done organically rather than by acquisition. "We did it by branching, going out and hiring people who wanted to be with us," he says.
The best year of my life professionally was when I went to Merchants and Planters Bank. We entered into an acquisition with Bank of Malvern in 1985. We began Summit Bank after a 2-year hiatus, started in Arkadelphia and Hot Springs, had a little branch in Magnolia. We grew that franchise from 0 to $1.2 billion, then sold that to Bank of the Ozarks, Bank OZK, which I remain a director of proudly. I am chairman of the risk committee. I was lucky, but I will tell you, with luck is where hard work and opportunity meet. It takes 35 years to grow a tree, and it's a tremendous way to build value. That's been my thesis my entire career. The biggest accomplishment by far is my family. I have a wonderful wife, and she was there 100% of the time. She keeps me on true north, as my girls do too. 3 precious daughters who are all grown. 2 lawyers and a doctor. So now it becomes their job to transfer what they know to their children.
These values of long-term investing sustain the tradition of giving by the Ross Foundation, established in 1966 by Jane and Esther Ross. When Whipple joined, the foundation managed 16,000 acres and has since grown to 64,000 acres, open to the public. He was responsible for 500 acres. which he was able to eventually turn into $70,000. In 2014, the Whipple family began operating a family office to manage timber operations and seek new long-term investments. This business became known as Horizon Capital Partners.
We've made millions of dollars of grants. You know, one of the things we're really proud of is the Arkadelphia Promise. In partnership with Southern Bank Corp and the Ross Foundation, we make it available for pretty much every high school senior to go to college. I do it because I love it. I do it because I feel some responsibility. That's what got me where I am. But we have to have patient capital. We need to be able to grow value. And you do it by managing it right. I think it's time for those of us who are somewhat older to be able to transfer our experience and knowledge. We are stewards of this. And it's our responsibility to leave it better than we found it to the next generation. Well, I am extremely honored, extremely humbled to be able to participate in this. And when you look at the prior inductees, wow, how did I get here?